Hey everyone, so when exactly are you going to get your second stimulus check? About late August. So that's it for today's video. Be sure to subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Okay, it's not exactly that simple. Remember, this is the government we're talking about. But we do have some really interesting developments on the timing of the stimulus check and when you can roughly expect it. And I'm going to be breaking that down in this video. So as many of you know, and many of you probably don't, my name is Kevin Conway. I'm an attorney here in California, and I make stimulus news update videos and unemployment insurance breakdowns and other personal finance videos all the time. So if you want to stay informed, be sure to just give a like to the video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video with whoever you think it might benefit. Now let's get right into it. So earlier this morning we got some exciting news. It turns out the government does work on the weekends sometimes. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin met with Mark Meadows, who is the chief of staff for the White House, over the weekend, and they basically finalized what is going to be the second round of the new stimulus bill. According to Steve Mnuchin, it looks like this stimulus bill from the Republicans out of the Senate is going to be released tomorrow. That is Monday, July 27th. Fortunately, because of the leaks that have come out of the administration, we know, generally speaking, what are the major things that are going to be in this bill. And the first thing, which is most appealing for a lot of people, is going to be a second round of these stimulus checks. So even though this bill is just now going to be introduced into Congress, it looks like this portion, at least the stimulus check portion, has bipartisan support. Remember, the Democrats a few months ago proposed and passed in the House of Representatives something called the HEROES Act, which included in it a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks. So getting right back to it, when exactly are you going to be getting this new stimulus check? Now, according to Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, remember, he's the guy who actually oversees the distribution and processing of these stimulus checks. He thinks that's going to be rather soon. Here's what he said. The president's preference is to make sure that we send out direct payments quickly so that in August, people get more money. So technically, it is his hope that we get the stimulus check in August. That is not a guarantee that we are going to get the stimulus check in August, but I would say it has a very high likelihood of actually happening. The reason is because, as I mentioned earlier, the House of Representatives, controlled by the Democrats, and now the Republican-controlled Senate have both put forward bills which explicitly put in there those $1,200 stimulus checks. Now, because both sides have already agreed to that one point, it seems very likely that at least a bill in part or in whole will include that next round of stimulus checks, and because they already have agreed to it now, it looks like it probably will be processed by August. And I know there's a lot of skeptics out there, and I don't really blame you for being skeptical of another round of stimulus checks. I was skeptical the first time I got my stimulus check, but earlier this morning, we got another confirmation from a member of the administration that the stimulus checks are going to happen. Remember, last week I actually detailed in a few different videos exactly why the stimulus check is going to happen again, but we have additional confirmation here. White House advisor Larry Kudlow said the following: there's a $1,200 check coming. That's going to be part of the new package. Again, that's about as straightforward as you could be. We know the exact dollar amount, something that was thought to be true, $1,200, but now we have that confirmed. $1,200 is part of that new bill, and as such, this is going to be rolled out tomorrow. It's probably going to pass rather quickly, and you probably are going to see that check starting to come in late August. Here's also the good news. Because we already went through the first round of stimulus checks, most people have already taken the time to either update their information with the IRS portal or get their stimulus checks regardless, whether they are a Social Security or Veterans Benefits or Disabilities Benefits recipient, or somebody who've already filed taxes and they already received that direct deposit stimulus check. Most people have already pretty much figured that one out. There are some people who still haven't gotten their first stimulus check. I'm going to be telling you how you can do that a little bit later in the video, so stick around for that. I also want to quickly highlight who is eligible for this stimulus check. My previous video goes into detail, but here is the high-level overview. U.S. citizens and permanent residents are eligible for a stimulus check. Now, not all of them are eligible. You still have to have made below $75,000 as an individual or below $150,000 as a married couple filing jointly in the tax year 2019. Now, that last part isn't exactly known to be true right now. it probably will stay the same, and that's because Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said that the additional round of stimulus checks is going to be the exact same as the last round with a few more expansions, but those are the income cutoff criteria as of now. Additionally, you get another $500 per child under the age of 17, and there's no limit. So you could have 10 kids and you're gonna pick up an extra $5,000. So that's pretty good, but again, as I mentioned, 10 kids, probably not worth it for 5,000 bucks. As a matter of fact, my grandma had 10 kids, and I asked her one time, how did you do that? How did you have 10 kids? Her response was simple: alcohol. But anyway, back to the stimulus check. If you got one last time, you're gonna get one again this time. Remember too, that we are only 100 days away from the election, and people in Congress, well, they love to be reelected pretty much more than anything else. So those people in Congress who are gonna be up for election, they're gonna have a really high incentive to make sure that they pass something that is widely popular, money for people. So if they go in and they don't pass the stimulus check right away, they're gonna be on the chopping block, they know it. And so I think there's gonna be a really good chance that this bill, at least this portion, the stimulus check, passes right away. And that stimulus check probably will follow in the same direct deposit manner that we all got it last time. And if not direct deposit, then some other method, beginning in mid to late August. Now, what happens if you haven't received your stimulus check from last time and you want to be sure that you received that stimulus check so that you could receive this new stimulus check? What are you supposed to do? Well, first things first, I'll link it below, but the IRS portal is a great way to start. If you're a filer or a non-filer, you could use that portal to update your information, to put in your direct deposit information if you want, in order to get that stimulus check faster as opposed to slower. I highly recommend getting a bank account or getting an account where you can get direct deposit right away. That's the fastest way you're gonna be able to get your stimulus check. If you wait for it by mail, you're just gonna have to wait for weeks, maybe even months, like some people have experienced, in order to get that stimulus check. If you need a bank account, be sure to look at my description below. There's a link for an account called SoFi Money, an account I personally use. If you sign up and you put in 500 bucks, you get $25 right away. So if you're looking for your stimulus check, open that account, put in 500 bucks, you automatically get 25 bucks, and boom, it's free to have, and you're gonna have that stimulus check roll in that account right away. It's gonna be easy. You can use any ATM pretty much with SoFi Money, withdraw that cash as well. That's pretty helpful. So if you've tried using the IRS portal and that doesn't work for you for some reason, I recommend contacting your congressperson. I mean it. You just look them up, Google wherever you live. Say you live in Los Angeles and you live in Santa Monica. Put in Santa Monica, congressperson, and then boom, somebody will pop up. Look at that person, follow their contact information, and give their office a call. They're really gonna wanna make sure that they help you out in getting your stimulus check. Chances are they've already received calls from lots and lots of people. And again, remember, it's an election year, so they're not gonna just ignore you. They know you're a potential voter. Make that known to them. And once you call them, they're gonna help push you through and actually get you that stimulus check. That is, if you qualify. And lastly, if you've done both of those things and you still haven't received your stimulus check, you may want to recheck the eligibility criteria in the stimulus check to make sure that you actually are eligible. Now, one weird thing on the last stimulus check is that if you are an American citizen and you're married to somebody who is not an American citizen and doesn't have a social security number and uses a taxpayer identification number to file their taxes, which is around 2 million people, well, you will not be receiving the stimulus check. That is one of the weird quirks of the last round of stimulus checks. But good news, there are people right now, some of the senators on the Republican side of the aisle have put forward a provision where they want to include those people. Again, that's around 2 million people. If you're one of those, the second round of stimulus check may be eligible for you. What do you guys think of the second round of stimulus checks? I know Trump said it was going to be very, very generous. You know, it's $1,200, but is that really generous? I don't really know. Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. And just remember, this week, as in tomorrow, is going to be the day that we find out more about not only the stimulus checks, but all of the provisions in the stimulus bill, including unemployment insurance, expanded protections for businesses, potentially back to work bonuses, virus protection, additional incentives for people to open schools again. All of those things, a whole litany of items are going to be in this monster stimulus bill, another one that's going to be over $1 trillion. So if you want to know more, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to read that bill as soon as it comes out, and I'm going to give you the key details, anything that is the same or different than what I've already shared here. And we're going to learn a lot, trust me, so you don't want to miss it. Be sure to subscribe so you stay informed. Now with that, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It does look like August is going to be the date that we likely will get our stimulus checks. If it's not August, it'll probably be shortly thereafter, September, but I'm calling it. I think late August is when we're going to get it. Again, election year. Come on, people need their money right now. People in Congress really know that a lot of people need their money as well. So if you want to catch up on the latest stimulus news or learn more about personal finance, be sure to look at my channel. I have a million videos on there on the stimulus and other things like real estate investing. It's what I do full time. Things on how to get the best credit cards, best bank accounts, all of those sorts of things. So be sure to check my channel out for more videos like that, and give a like to this video and please share it with those who might find it helpful. I'll see you next time. Thanks.